Good morning, my wonderful friends. Megas with you on a beautiful day in Asha. If you're brand new to the channel, we're Zoroastrians. We are the Magi. And today I want to talk about the love of a little orange book that we call Asha. And I'll tell you why we love this little tiny book so much. Because of the healing and peace and joy it's brought into our lives. This little book healed me from OCD. I'm not going to go into my full testimony because most of you know it, because I want to get to the message. But I grew up with money and wealth and around famous people and everything you could want. But I was lost in a hell in my own mind. And this little tiny book set me free. It brought me life. My friends, every day I come and say it's another beautiful day in Asha. I'm living in that heaven on earth, that original word that Zoroaster teaches us to attune to. And I was so moved today in the comments. Our wonderful friend Timmy, and a lot of you guys do this. I see this with Richard and Gil and Gulliver and Son of Light and so many of you. I'm not going to try to name you all, but I see you just helping the new people as they come and explaining Asha and giving your testimony. And Timmy was talking about how this book, it saved her just like it did me. And the love that we have for this. And you know, if you get it, you get it. There's many wonderful friends we've made, you know, over the years. Thousands of people have said, thank you, Megas. I love the message of Zoroaster and Asha. Thank you. But there's a handful of people that it's the love of their life. They spend every day with it. You know, Timmy was saying she won't leave the house till a full reading of Asha because it's become family. And I want to get deeper into that. I got so much to share with you guys. But first, I want to touch on that a little bit. There's this book here. I'm just going to read you a little bit, but you'll get it. Like I said, if you get it, you get it. If you have had an experience with Asha, and real quick, Asha, it's the perfect creator's perfect idea. It's what else could come from a perfect creator's perfect mind but heaven on earth. And it's available. It's like kind of like the multi-worlds. You know, as I was talking about, I was living in a world, I was living in a mansion on a lake. And the tour boat would actually go by and point out our house. I had plenty of girlfriends. I had Mercedes and BMWs and Range Rovers. I had everything I wanted. My neighbors were famous people that would come over and play with my dogs, and I'd play with their dogs and hang out. I had musicians, and I had rock stars come into our house and play drums and make music. And I mean, it was great, except for you can't enjoy it when you're lost in the hell in your own mind. Everything gets tainted, my friends. And so this book set me free. So I want to read this to you from, it's called The Shadow of the Wind. And the story is about a dad that takes his son to a cemetery of forgotten books. And what happens is, and what got me thinking about it is because Asha's out of print right now. And so these people, they'll take these books when, say, a bookstore closed or a library closes, and these books that would just be forgotten, that have gone out of print, they'll take them to the cemetery of forgotten books. And then when people come in, they choose one book that they adopt, and they make sure it never goes away. It never dies. The story doesn't die. They keep it alive, and that's what we've done with Asha. My friends, that original word, but the difference with this is it changes you. My friends, it brings life, and some of us have made it our life's mission to keep it alive. It may be out of print, but we hold it in our hearts and we share these words, my friends, because we know what it can do. So let me read you just a little bit. Like I said, you'll get it. You Ashavans, you're going to get this. It says, every book, every volume you see here has a soul. The soul of the person who wrote it and of those who read it and lived with it and dreamed with it. Every time a book changes hands, every time someone runs his eyes down its page, its spirit grows and strengthens. Haven't you seen that as all our wonderful friends here, as we've lived with it and dreamed with it and been healed by it and loved it? My friends, the spirit of it grows and has made this family that we have. It says, this place was already ancient when my father brought me here for the first time many years ago, perhaps as old as the city itself. Nobody knows for certain how long it existed or who created it. I will tell you what my father told me, though. When a library disappears, or a bookshop closes down, when a book is consigned to oblivion, those of us who know this place, its guardians, make sure that it gets here in this place. Books no longer remembered by anyone, books that are lost in time, live forever, waiting for the day when they'll reach a new reader's hands. In the shop we buy and sell them. But in truth, books have no owner. Every book you see here has been somebody's best friend, and now they have only us. And it got me thinking about, I think of how lucky we are that we came across this. It's so beautiful because it had to be divinely orchestrated. When I was crying out to God to give me some form of peace to set me free from the fear and the OCD and the depression that was gripped on me, and I felt like I could never shake it, that this came into my hands, this little tiny book. And then the countless other people, there's testimonies I've shared with you guys of people that have said the same thing. My friends, it's so beautiful. Can I read you just a little bit more? According to tradition, the first time someone visits this place, he must choose a book, whichever he wants, and adopt it, making sure that it will never disappear and that it will always stay alive. It is very important. Promise for life, explained my father. Today it's your turn. My friends, maybe Asha, maybe it's your turn to protect the child. That's what we say here at the Order of the Magi. We protect the child. We protect this original word. Maybe it's your turn. Maybe it's your turn to give back and to share this message with someone that needs it too. Someone right now is crying out to be healed just like we were. You know, I'm thinking about, there was a story with Jesus and he healed that handful of lepers. And they're just all, hey, great. And they went on. We've seen that here at the Order of the Magi. Many people, they get their healing, they're grateful, and they just go on with their life. But in that story, one person turned around, went back and gave Jesus a big hug and said, thank you so much. And Jesus said, you know what, you're healed, but you're also whole. And that's what some of you have found. You know, you're thankful, yes, but you've come back and you found wholeness in it. You found a family. You found that oneness that you've become a part of here at the Order of the Magi. And then I'll end with this. He says, the shadow of the wind had been waiting for me there for years, probably since before I was born. And when I read that, I got so emotional because that's how I feel. This has been waiting for me for probably since before I was born, knowing I would need these words. And we're kind of a guardian of them. You know, this comes from the original monotheistic religion, Zoroastrianism. And the original word was just good. The God of Zarathustra, the original monotheistic religion, it wasn't mixed. Matter of fact, Zoroaster means unmixed, undefiled, undiluted, pure starlight. My friends, pure word. The original word, the good word. And it's one of those gods that is pure. It's not sends good and evil, loves and hate, peace and war, doesn't like bloody sacrifice, doesn't kill men, women, and children. It's none of that. It's pure good. It's beautiful. It's Asha. And we attune ourselves to that love and that peace and that kindness. And to know that this God, this truth, this Asha, it only wants the best for us. And in truth, we come from that good spirit. And we're made of that good spirit. It's that divine spark in us. And that's why when you read this, it's not just another story. It resonates with all that you are. Your spirit cries out truth. Yes. My friends, and so I want to read you just 2 statements and teachings out of this and see if it resonates with your spirit. This is Asha 5. Believe only the highest truth and enter Asha. As the wise Lord is perfect, so his idea of creation is perfect. Listen with your spirit. Listen with that divine spark. This is called Asha Truth. This idea of truth is the very spirit of God good. It is much more than not making a false statement. It is the true vision of God's ideal existence. It is the real above all real. The highest truth, creation in perfect harmony, where nothing occurs at the expense or harm of another. Oh, my God, I feel that. I've read this a million bajillion times. Every time I feel it with all that I am. It vibrates, it resonates through my whole being. My friends, that's the feeling of truth. Asha 13. I love this statement. Good is good, bad is bad. Good is good, bad is bad. The world has lost it. Is it laughable now, Ashavans, that you've woken up when we look at what they call the religious books that present a God that gets angry, jealous, hates, wars, kills, allows concubines and sex slaves? You can go in and kill the men, women, and children and keep the sex slaves, take all the spoils, angers, and, he can heal you, but can also send disease, wipe out all the firstborn children, just suffering and fear, and it can separate you and burn you in hell. And just, how did we ever think that was the highest principle of God good? It's laughable. My friends, it's laughable but cryable, because we know how much torment that can bring on people. That's why we need some guardians of Asha, of the original word. My friends, listen to the original word. This is from Zoroaster's writings. The original word, all good comes from the Creator, and no evil comes from him. That ought to just put a big smile in your heart right now. If you've ever been scared of God, scared of the Holy Spirit, scared that you can be separated from God, or that he can punish you or ever hate you, it's impossible. He's the most loving, kindest parent. Once you get to know Asha, the Holy Spirit of God, you've never felt so much love and protection and goodness, my friends. The original word, only good comes from the Creator, and no evil comes from him. And from this original word, this sound, this energy, this frequency, this spirit, the spiritual world is made straight, and the material world comes into order. The original word of false religion is that evil comes from the Creator, and this false idea is all the evil that creatures suffer. As I was talking about at the beginning of this video, all the suffering I had, it was all taking place in my mind from the lies I was fed. That's where all the suffering came from, a false word. My friends, but when the true word came, that false word lost its grip on me. How sad is that? I grew up in a mansion with beautiful people around me, and I couldn't enjoy it because of a false word, a false spirit, a false energy, a false information. But when the truth comes, the lie is exposed, and it doesn't hold you in fear anymore. My friends, you're released. And I know for me and many of you, we became real grateful. That's why I come every day. I got a good life now. I try to share it in some of the videos, but my life is good, but I want to give back. I want to be like one of those lepers that came back to Jesus and said, "Oh my God, I love you so much. Thank you." Will you adopt Asha today, this little orange book, especially now that it's out of print? Will you hold these words? Will you share these words? My friends, someone needs this today. If you will, go to the comments and tell me you will. What can I do, Megas? First thing, just hold it in your heart. Be Asha. Be the love. Be the joy. Be the kindness. Attune yourself to that original word, that all good God, that all good spirit, that truth. And hold it and be it. And then tell people about this little orange book. There's still some ways you can get a hold of this. It's not as easy, but on my homepage, on my YouTube channel, I left a link to Blurb. So before, what we do, when it was on Amazon and you could get it all around the world, we would take the money we got from the book and we'd give it to charity. We're given to, great charities, St. Jude's and Feeding the Children, and blankets for the poor and medical help and helping refugees and great things. So we don't make any money on these Blurb books. It all goes to Blurb for putting it out, but we're still getting the message out. So you can still get it and share the message with people. Maybe start your own YouTube channel. Maybe share it with friends and family. Maybe just turn them on to this YouTube channel, where they get this message every day. All right, guys, I love you, beautiful Ashavans, my family. Is it amazing? We've also created a family from this. A lot of you I've never met. But I love you so much. I sense you. I feel you. Even the ones like Dorothy that have transferred, from out of form and body and into pure spirit. I still sense her. I still know her. I still love her. I still feel her just believing with us to hold this message of Asha, to protect the child. If you will, go to the comments and say, Megas, I will. I'll protect the child. I'll adopt Asha. I'll share the message. It changed my life. My friends, I love Asha. I love that original word. I love that all good spirit. Beautiful Holy Spirit. We are so grateful. We thank you and we love you. And I thank you for my wonderful friends. Bless them just beyond measure. Let them feel your love right now like never before. Your protection, your light that is in them and all around them. Just give them a big hug, good spirit. I love you.